Iron Maiden finally did it! For so long, we on our Up the Iron series have been talking about how Iron Maiden's 1986 album Somewhere in Time does not get the respect it actually deserves. And you know what? It looks like now it finally will. Just now, the boys announced that in summer of 2023 they will be hitting the road once again and going to Europe with their brand new The Future Past tour, with the setlist focused, as you guessed, on their 1986 studio record, which, if you are not new to our Up the Iron series, you already know is the most overlooked 1980s album, and once again, not by the fans, but by the band. In addition, the setlist will also include some of the deep cuts from their latest studio album, Senjutsu, as well as their all-time classic songs. Which, here's the thing, given the fact that Iron Maiden's fourth studio album, Peace of Mind, will turn 40 next year, I assume will consist of some of the songs from that record. The band announced their 2023 tour by placing their Samurai Eddie into the setting of the futuristic city of the Somewhere in Time album artwork, including a couple of references to Derek Riggs' 1986 masterpiece that I personally absolutely loved, with the most prominent one being the score tableau of a football game, which of course is the nod to the famous West Ham 7 Arsenal 3 reference on the back of the original album artwork. By the way, a piece of nerdery, if we take a look at where the Samurai Eddie is standing and place it on the Somewhere in Time artwork, we might actually assume that the Samurai Eddie is firing an arrow at the Cyborg Eddie, which, who knows, may mean that we will finally see the two Eddies fight on stage on the upcoming tour. When it comes to the setlist and the songs the band might play on the upcoming tour from Senjutsu, it is still very hard to predict which ones exactly the band will choose. And of course, I would personally love to hear the songs which, a year after its release, I tend to return to the most, those being Hell on Earth and The Darkest Hour, although I do have this weird feeling that almost certainly Iron Maiden will perform The Death of the Celts live on the upcoming tour. And when it comes to Somewhere in Time, I'm almost certain that the band will concentrate on the songs they have performed previously, those being of course Wasted Years, Heaven Can Wait, Stranger in a Strange Land, and the title track called Somewhere in Time. If we are lucky enough, Iron Maiden will also perform The Loneliness of the Long Distance Runner, which in my opinion is a kick-ass tune which sadly has been performed only once, on the 10th of September in 1986 in Belgrade. Shame! But the main question remains is whether Iron Maiden will finally do what they have been back to do for so long and play the song most of the fans desire to hear live.
No, we can't let them take anymore. Alexander the Great!
In the tour announcement, Iron Maiden also mentioned that they deeply regret that they did not film the original 1980s Somewhere on tour, for which Steve Harris of course blames their manager Rod Smallwood.
It's just outrageous.
But I actually think that this might be a hint that this tour will be recorded, and in the next couple of years we will get a new retrospective live album by the band, this time focusing on the adventure of a samurai. So the dates go on sale on October 14th for the general crowd and on October 11th for the Iron Maiden official fan club members. And for now we only get 12 dates announced for 2023 tour, yet a small footnote at the bottom of the announcement also says that further European dates will be announced shortly, which means that most likely we will also get some August dates as well, especially since Iron Maiden already announced their performance at Wacken Open Air next year, and I really don't think that they will drag all of their stage decorations for just one show that month. But what I truly hope is that I and tenths of thousands of Ukrainians who were supposed to see Iron Maiden live in our country this year will get to see the Future Past tour next year in Kyiv, Ukraine after our victory. So guys, please don't forget that the biggest war since World War II is still going on right now in the middle of Europe, and continue supporting Ukraine in any way you possibly can. By the way, an interesting fact, even if Iron Maiden will perform Somewhere in Time in its entirety on each of those shows announced, it will still not be enough to not make it the most underplayed 1980s album by Iron Maiden.
What?
But anyways, what do you guys personally think about this announcement, and which songs do you expect to hear both from Senjutsu and Somewhere in Time live next year, and whether you are planning to go to that show or not? Please let us know in the comments. As always, thank you so much for watching this short and very spontaneous video, which I'll be honest with you, I was super happy to record because everyone knows I love Somewhere in Time, and we will prevail. Slava Ukraini!